Hi, it's Sarah from Fit Mummy and Complete Core Control. This week we're talking all things pregnancy and pregnancy exercise, and today it's a little bit of a focus on pelvic girdle pain or symphysis pubis dysfunction. I touched on it a little bit on the video that we did about what to avoid when you're pregnant. Basically, when you're pregnant, you have a hormone released in your body called relaxin, and that will stay in your body whilst you're pregnant and whilst you're breastfeeding. It does drop a little bit when you stop breastfeeding, but with every subsequent pregnancy that you have, the relaxin levels will rise. So it loosens off all the joints in the body, but particularly the symphysis pubis, which is right at the bottom of your pelvis. You've always got a little gap there, but when you are pregnant, that gap will double in size, and the joints around the pelvis with the relaxin as well will loosen off, and it's all to help the process of labour and childbirth. But that joint becomes unstable, the pelvis becomes weaker. So if there are certain things that you do that can make it worse, some women suffer with it terribly and end up on crutches and in wheelchairs, and other women don't get it at all. So it's luck of the draw, but there are certain things you can do to avoid it getting worse if you've got it, and there's certainly certain things you can do that can help strengthen your pelvis, help keep that area stable and strong. Okay, so things to avoid while you're doing it. I'm just going to get my list up because I want you to get all the information. I don't want you to miss anything. So things like, if you're in a class, if you're in an exercise class and they're doing a step touch, don't step too wide. You want to keep that pelvis lined up and stable. So if you imagine if you're stepping out wide, then you're opening the pelvis a little bit. You're moving through that joint that's unstable. So smaller steps is going to help. Try and avoid standing on one leg, because again you're putting all the weight through one side of your pelvis. So avoid anything so if you're in a class, a yoga class, try to always, when you're in like things like tree pose and stuff, keep one foot just touching down on the floor, but if it still feels really uncomfortable, keep both feet grounded. And that's why a pregnancy yoga class is the much better option than a mainstream yoga class. That's what I'm trying to say. So certain lying exercises can be uncomfortable. Remember, you don't want to lie on your back after about 16 weeks anyway. And things like swimming. So when you're swimming, if you're doing breaststroke, that's going to be really uncomfortable. So just do those legs. I can't do just those legs. You know what I mean? I have my daughter here laughing at me. She's like, what are you talking about, you strange freak of nature? So those are the sort of things that you want to avoid. So swimming is great during pregnancy, but try and do front crawl legs. That's what it's called, front crawl, right? Front crawl. I like that. I like it a lot. So that's things to avoid, okay? If you're doing, so any of those things, just stop them, and then you should hopefully start to feel more comfortable. But what can you do to strengthen your pelvis and to keep that whole area strong if you're starting to suffer with those symptoms? Our Beautiful Bumps program goes through all of this in detail, and there are exercise videos you can do through each trimester to keep you strong. But here are a few things just for you now while you're watching this video. So squats are great. They're going to fire up the glutes, they're going to fire up the quads, they help the lower abdominals. So if you're squatting, try and avoid, don't do plie squats, don't do wide squats with your toes hanging out. Feet face forward, feet and knees and hips all in a line, and then sink back into the heels. So squats are great. When we do our pregnancy classes, we do lots of band work, so resistance bands round the thighs, pushing out and in, trying to get the outer thighs, inner thighs to fire up and work and help again with that pelvis stability and strength. Leg swings and leg circles, so you can do these side lying, so you lie on your side, you lift the leg up and down, and you can do circles. You can do them standing, but again, we've already said that you don't really want to be standing on one leg for any length of time. So try lying. You can do it seated. You can do leg circles seated. You can get your legs moving around, okay, and bridge. So when you're lying on your back, feet hip distance apart, you tilt the pelvis, you push up through the hips and you come back down. Now, we've already said about not lying on your back for any length of time, but if you move the bridge quite quickly, then you're not at risk because you're keeping your hips moving, you're keeping your back moving. But we would suggest that you don't do that one for very long, so maybe 5 to 10 of those, then roll back onto your side, okay? So bridge is another one. It's again, it's stability, it's lower abdominal muscles, okay? So that kind of tells you what to avoid, gives you some ideas of what you can do to help strengthen. Glutes are great, get those glutes working, so squats, glute kickbacks, that kind of thing. So give all those a go, but remember, we're going to be talking to you on Monday, the 8th of September at 8:30 in the evening, and Lizzie and I will go through all of this and much, much more. But if you're interested, have a look on the website, and you can have a look at the Beautiful Bumps program and have a look and see if that's for you, and because that's going to help you if you're suffering with any of these issues. So thanks for joining us. Any questions, you know where to put them, and we will see you on the next video.